Does. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday. Tuesday, no problem. Episode number 439. Dang, almost to a 440, dude. Almost a 440. Next show, Friday. Hello. How's everyone doing? What's rocking? What's happening? What's looking good? What's shaking? I really don't have much news off the bat. The MMAC call today was, they're still losing money, but losing less money. Revenue doubled to not that much. Donald Trump is suing his co-founders of Truth Social, really the guys that created Truth Social and then brought it to Donald Trump, like, hey, want to attach your name to this? And he was like, absolutely I do. And now he's trying to make sure that they don't get any part of it because, yeah, way do business, that guy. Was there anything else, Monkey? I honestly can't think of anything else. I took a long walk today, threw the baseball a little bit, played with the dog. She's really farty right now. That's what I got. But you know what? It's dark outside, so I can do this. Excuse me, pick up here. All right. Turn it off. All right. Make sure they're all off. Okay, we're good. I haven't done this double intro in like days. Might as well just go straight to the chat because I got nothing. It's a Wednesday. It's might snow in the Bay Area. That's pretty crazy. It was snowing in the Northeast today. We've had some lovely weather here in Seattle, so you know, Mariners got their asses kicked today. George Kirby gave up 8 runs and. Well, there's always next year. Anyway, Zuma got to do with Nub was first. Shadowfire second. Keegan Murphy, cheese. Ludicrous Speed Houston, several new dockets yesterday. Have you seen them or have any insight on them? I have no clue what those dockets mean that came out. I went through them and I was like, I don't know this. None of this. There's some motion to seal, but I'm not sure what they're trying to seal. So I have no idea. They did move something up to the 11th from the 17th, which is interesting because they rarely move things up. Usually they go, oh, we're not dealing with this, move it the next month. And then they go, we're not dealing with this, move it the next month. And just do that over and over and over and over. But here we are. All of a sudden, they're moving something up to discuss things. Somebody pointed out on Reddit yesterday that Lazard had noted that Bed Bath, while retuning their Philo agreement, did $1 billion equity offering. And I'm wondering if that's our Bed Bath or Beyond Bed Bath. Which one of those is Lazard talking about? I don't know if Beyond was working with Lazard at all, but that was an interesting thing that popped up. That was back on September 29th when they announced the creation of Butterfly. So when did they say Butterfly announced this? I don't know. Kelly Reed. Happy birthday, Houston. Did you manage to hear about the slowdown in the auto sector? Not surprised with how ridiculous prices of used and new cars are. People are struggling. Yeah, Tesla had really garbage numbers. They made like 450,000 cars and delivered 70,000 cars or something. So that's pretty bad. Cars are too expensive. They're straight up too expensive. The car auto manufacturers got into trouble during COVID where they saw a scarcity in vehicles meant they could produce fewer vehicles and make more profit. And the auto industry in general should be set up for mass production, meaning you produce as many cars as possible, as cheaply as possible, and make your profit via volume. And now what they're discovering is that the cars are so expensive that people just aren't buying them. They're making do. They're buying other vehicles. They're doing maintenance on their vehicles. They aren't driving as much because they don't have to commute anymore because they can now work from home. So the wear and tear on their vehicles is less than it was. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a reckoning in the auto industry. Excuse me, as they figure that out. So, It's a factory. Bird flu in Texas. It grabs a Lysol, sprays everything, even though I'm nowhere in Texas. Well, the bird flu isn't just in Texas. They found it in heifers in Ohio who came from Texas. So it's spreading. And apparently there's a mutation that now makes mammals more susceptible. We know that pinnipeds, like whales and seals and walruses and stuff, were getting absolutely ravaged with bird flu because they're out in the water getting shit on by seagulls all day. And so they're getting bird flu into their, breathing it in and out and sucking up the water and everything else. And so there probably lots of mutations happened amongst sea mammals. And now there's a mutation in it that makes it more susceptible to humans. So the farmer has it. All the cats on the farm have it. The largest egg-laying plant in the world has it. 1.6 million hens are going to have to be culled as a result. So, no likey. Ludicrous speed. Edwin has gone off the deep end and or dark side or something. Yeah. He produces, I kind of alluded to it last show. He produces some pretty solid DD. And if he just stopped like 70% of the way in and just ended it there, you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But then he goes into these weird conspiracy theories about Donald Trump owning GameStop and everything else. And it's just, no, bud, that's not happening. No one intelligent will do business with Donald Trump, because if you do business with Donald Trump, he then sues you to take all of your rights from that business, as we saw evidence today. Like, no one who's smart at business will sign a contract with that guy, because he will screw you over time and time again. So, no, it's not happening. Can I read? Hope the Chinese stay away from Taiwan after its earthquake. Yeah, earthquake, gnarly. There's some incredible video footage of rock slides and other things happening in the Taiwanese earthquake. Is bad. It's as big as the quake that hit in 99. The difference this time is building codes. So in 99, almost damn near every skyscraper in Taiwan just fell over. Now only a few of them fell over this time. And a large part of that was because they wanted these grand lobbies in all these buildings. And if you've got grand lobbies, you don't have walls. If you don't have walls, you don't have anything that can stop shear forces. And you have no shear strength. And so everything goes wobble, 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 wobble. Every single pillar just snaps and the building just falls over. Just, I think I've shown pictures of it before. So building codes went in, enforcing shear strength among all these lower floors. And so the ones that tipped over are buildings largely built before 1999. And every other tall building did just fine. But man, the video footage of some of those landslides from like dash cams and stuff, holy cow, that is terrifying. Oh, thank you. But yeah, there's going to be some rebuilding that has to get done. And yeah. J-Dog, Tesla earnings on the 23rd. How sexy are the puts? Let's look at their options chain right now. TSLA options chain. I bet they're pretty expensive, because usually pretty expensive. And Chrome. Come on, boom, boom. There we go. All right. Tesla options chain. What we got? Looking for 23rd. So we want options that close out 26th. Puts. Actually, not that bad. $750 for puts on the 23rd. I'm sure implied volatility will start to go up. It's at 50% right now. Not too shabby. What are the weeklies currently looking at? What do April 12th weeklies look like? 40%. Oops, on puts. Puts. So right below the money, 395. Okay. 42% implied volatility. Maybe that's a Friday purchase on the, what's Friday would that be? The 17th? 19th. All right. So, yeah, Tesla, they made a lot of cars that did not sell, and they're getting undercut. Hyundai had a lease deal that expired on the 1st. You get an Ioniq 6 for $700 down and $235 a month was the lease deal. What? That is crazy. It's kind of an ugly car, but it performs really well. It's got 100,000 mile warranty, etc. Then getting a new car basically for $230 a month plus only $700 down, $300 down, something like that. But that deal's now moved on. I'm sure they'll do something like that again. But undercutting Tesla by $200 a month for a lease, not too shabby. Is the cat yelling come in? Are you yelling come in, buddy? Where? There you are. I forgot to play your intro song, but it's all right. Next time, you fat little turd. Look at him go. Look at him, he's so fat. He's such a fat cat. Yes, you are. You're just a big old bundle of meat. Look at you. Yeah, you big chunk. Oh, scratch your little belly. Just scratch it. Okay. What was I talking about? Robert Hurt, do you know any of the Wick? Oh, you mean WCK, World Central Kitchen? I don't know anybody who works there, but we've done World Central Kitchen charities twice now. Once for Ukraine, and another time. What we do the other one was another thing that happened. I've done charity for them twice. I was thinking that perhaps this month we'll do a World Central Kitchen Charity Tuesday. So yeah, they had some of their volunteers get blown up by airstrikes in Gaza. Absolutely horrific. They do really good work. They make 10 million meals a day for people in all sorts of places. You know, war-torn places, inner cities, places struck by natural disasters. They get food shipped, made on a huge scale. They do a fantastic job. So, yeah, we can probably do them this month if, some other natural disaster doesn't take over. Robert Hurt, you need a baseball intro. Sorry, Belgians, about to talk baseball. Jason Blackwell, Houston. My wife told me she's leaving me for telling too many animal puns. I told her I'll pack on my bags. Okay. Turkish. Happy birthday, Houston. My thumbs are shafted from, or chafed from all the twiddling. Oh, the twiddle, man. Just, I really do think that Ryan Cohen's got to come out with something. It's been over 3 years. He's got to produce something that makes everyone go, holy crap. That's what you're working on this entire time. He needs it. The investors need it. The company needs it. We just need it. So Ryan, let loose. Do it already. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is, release it upon the world. You've done the little things. You made the company profitable. We got that squared away. Now make something big and freaky. G-Font, bonds selling off and gold ripping. Not a great sign. Not a great sign at all. They may have to raise some interest rates more to get people to go back into bonds. So I wouldn't doubt if we see another quarter point raise by the Fed at some point. Yeah. I mean, real estate bonds are toast. We know those are just toast in general, but you need treasuries to be strong. And people dumping treasuries. Going into gold means they're going to start dumping stocks as well. Profits are insane because of inflation, but really the inflation, I think, was mostly profiteering by corporations. I mean, we talked about Kellogg's last time. Kellogg's, $2.1 billion in profit, $300 million in dividends, another few hundred million or billion being paid in stock buybacks, and they raised their prices. Like, come on, dude. People don't buy enough cereal anymore. We'll just raise our prices. That'll make them buy more. Turkish won't be surprised if we cross 3,000 per ounce. I will not be surprised either if we cross 3,000 per ounce. Robert, Hurt, what'd your brother tell you about BBY? It's just us. He told me nothing because he knows nothing about BBY. Yogi, MemMac call was BS today. Only 2 questions taken from analysts. F the board. Yeah, they really... F the board indeed. Robert Hurt, got any takes on pot stocks? I have no takes on pot stocks. I know they will rip like crazy if marijuana gets descheduled. That's it. Because as long as they're a scheduled narcotic, marijuana growers will have no access to bank accounts, traditional funding, things like that. And if they can't get traditional funding, investment, lending, pay their employees via automatic payments and stuff, they're going to be relegated to this kind of like shadow realm where they can't be touched. The minute it is legalized, you will see so much investment. You'll be seeing those pot farms that have been accruing cash like crazy, pot shops and everything, all of a sudden putting their money into accounts, investing into stocks and bonds and other, like they'll just blow up from there. So right now it is, speculative. You buy in cheap pot stocks and you twiddle your thumbs like you do with everything else, and just twiddle. And then eventually Congress deschedules it and boom, rocket ship time. But until then, you'll get little pushes and bumps and waves on possibilities of news. But it's going to happen eventually. Corporate walnut, what happens in Western China? Desert? Occupied Tibet? You want to look at Western China? We can look at Western China. Let's see here. Google Earth. Bam. The Google Earth. We're up here, still up in Timmins here. Hi, cat. Come here. What's up, buddy? Western China, Gobi Desert. One of the most desolate deserts in existence. There's Western China. Not much in the way of cities. Not much of anything. Some of the largest prominences you'll find geographically in the entire world are the mountain ranges surrounding the Gobi. I think these ones go to what? 9,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13, 12,000, 13, 17,000, 15,000. So like 17,000 feet are these mountains, and the valley down below 4,000. So you're looking at like a 13,000 foot difference in height between the valley and the top of the peaks. That's some of the largest prominences on Earth. Then we got Tibetan Plateau. Again, these mountains are like 15, 16,000 feet. The valley below is at 4,000. I know they grow lots of melons in these valleys. I know that. I did research once because I was looking at when I was trying to do my TV show, I was looking at like, hey, let's drive through the Gobi Desert in the show. But yeah, the Gobi Desert is huge and it is really desolate. I mean, look at that thing. There is not much in the way of features. You have one little river that pops through here that seems to, drain from one end of the Gobi to the other. And then you have dunes. Like, these are dunes. That's all dunes. In this image right here, how big is this? How many miles across is this guy? Come on, click, 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 click. Work, you little fart. There we go. So that right there is 70 miles across. It is only dunes. That's all you can see. Just dunes for 70 miles. No other features. Absolute desolate. I mean, how big can we get this before we have anything other than dunes? There's a road. There's a road right there. So that looks like a road here as well. So we do have a road that goes through, but there's no feature. All right, how big can we get this with no features? I want to look at this. Oops. Come on. No, don't zoom in, you jerk. I'm trying not to. Okay. Trying to do my little goofy. I can still see features in the corner. There we go. Okay. Now, click. Cat, don't come in here and yell at me. All right, there you go. 174 miles. No features except dunes. Nice. Nice. Okay, so Gobi Desert, not much going on there. In the Tibetan Plateau, lots of resources. I'm sure China's mining stuff like crazy up here, but again, not too many settlements because you're sitting at, 15,000 feet in lots of places in the Tibetan Plateau, and it is just cold and miserable for so much time. A lot of these alpine lakes, there's a lot of fresh water up here, tons of water. This lake is at 15,000 feet, 14,908 feet. And around that lake, you have nothing. No towns. They name some things in here. They name these little points and little bits of land and stuff, but there are no buildings, no people. You can see the lake levels change via season. The naming like that hill. But there is nothing. There are no people up here. There's some roads. These roads, is there anything like at this junction? You find like a building, a gas station, National Reserve. Nope. There's a natural reserve. It's easy to make natural reserves where there's no people because people aren't there. But yeah, there are not really many towns here. What are you? It's the Tibet Autonomous Region. That's just the naming of that. But yeah, my guess is that there's gold, gemstones, lithium, rare earths like crazy. I'm sure that if they could get people to, exert their bodies at 16,000 feet, they'd have a great job mining the hell out of this stuff. But the human body just can't do that at this altitude for very long. The Tibetan Plateau is pretty crazy, but there's nothing. There's nobody up here, no people, no things. It is empty. You get out a little bit further to the east, it starts to get green, and you're still really high, still at 15,000 feet. There's a town. There's the first town we've had for 1,000 miles. Komodo. Oh, Kamdo. Is it a town? Oh, look at that. It's an actual town. It's a whole city at 10,000 feet. Balmy 10,000 feet. I bet they do lots of mining up here. Yep. There's some mines. There's some mines right there. So there's a mine town. It's a slag pile. So they're mining stuff up here. But that's it. That's what happens in Western China. Nothing. Occupation of Tibet. That's what you got. There you go. There's your Western China exploration. Gold up 25% in the last 180 days. That's a lot for it to go up in a short period of time. XXX, hello, I got mail last week about some legal court settlement to participate. What do you think about it? Oh, that's probably the MMAT lawsuit that Pomerantz and those dickholes did. They managed to get everybody about a penny per share and netted themselves, $3 million? Cool. I just throw it out. That's not a waste of my time to get like $1 back from those assholes who sued the company and cost them a bunch of money for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, that's all Kensington short hedge fund caused that, and the board fired George and then settled the lawsuit when I think George would have just been like, fuck you, we'll take this all the way to court and you guys will lose and you owe us a pile of money. But they didn't, so here we are, getting a penny a share. Yogi 2012. MJ's been doing nice for me and has a dividend easier than picking one winner without a dividend. MJ. Michael Jordan? Magic Johnson? Michael Jackson? What? MJ? MJ. Why is my brain not... Maple Juice? Moby Jamiroquai? MJ? Barry's Bit, Houston. It's been quieter than normal MMTLP news. Could this be calm before the storm? It better be the calm before the storm. My roommate and I were just talking, like, what's happening? What's going on? Is Congress going to drag their feet because they know if they do something, it's going to, cost the entire GDP to fix, and then it's going to spill over into every other giant short thing that they have? Or will they actually act? Because my guess is, you want to act, because if you act, you have some semblance of control over it. If you don't act and it spools or spins out of control, then you are unprepared for it, and it's going to be absolutely brutal. Let's say that they get bought. Let's say Exxon comes along, it's like, hey, we're going to buy your oil fields. It looks like you got 3.5+ billion barrels of oil, 6 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Let's do this thing, 500 a share, right? Okay. Now the market makers and the hedge funds short it are out $500 billion in payment in lieu to cover that purchase price. They're not ready for that. They're gone, which means all of their short positions have to be closed, right? And so it's going to spin out of control anyway. So they may as well figure out some way to do this with some governmental control. Otherwise, it's going to be chaos, and they're not going to be ready for it. So I think what MMTLP has been doing has been trying to make FINRA and the SEC aware that they have avenues to absolutely fuck everybody over. And they're like, hey, come talk to us. Let's figure this out. If you ignore us, we're going to destroy you. And I think that's kind of what they've been doing with those press releases they did in January and February, was they dangled we can destroy you with what we have right here. So come talk to us. And hopefully they're actually talking to them now. I saw Drew Diligence talk to Hester Pierce, and apparently going to get the SEC to finally sit down and talk with MMTLP. Hope that happens. Hester Pierce was on Charles Payne's show this week, and she avoided all MMTLP questions. She's just like, he would ask a question and then she would just talk about something else entirely. And he didn't do a very good job of holding her to it. I think on a lot of those shows, having somebody remote makes it harder to get them to answer the question. And those shows also, a big problem they have is that their segments are timed so specifically. They only have 2 minutes with Hester. They got 2 minutes to ask Hester what they can. She can answer what she can in those 2 minutes, and we got a commercial break. I think in order to hold her feet to the fire or anyone else they bring on, you have to be able to follow up and insist that they answer the question you asked. And if you've got a producer yelling in your ear that time's up, we got to do a Ford commercial, you're not going to get there. So I don't think it's necessarily the best format for them. They might get a large audience, but something like this is a better format to talk to people like that, because I don't have a producer yelling in my ear that we got a commercial time to do, because no one wants to advertise on me. So benefit. Yeah. Fred Jones, Houston, what is your take on Congress now telling MMTLP that they now need to request a date for appearing instead of Congress giving FINRA and the SEC a subpoena? I think it's BS runaround. Oh, it's definitely a runaround. 100% runaround. So what MMTLP should do is call their bluff and request a date. Be like, hey, we want this date right here. And if they say, oh, we can't do it that day, then request every single solitary day of the year until they give you a date for a hearing. It's BS runaround. So the folks at McCabe and the folks at MMTLP should totally call them on their bluff and be like, well, make it this date. Because then all of a sudden, whoa, and yeah, just call their bluff. Robert Hurt, looks like it's going to be cloudy here in Dallas on Monday. Might have to drive down to west of San Antonio. Yeah, I heard a lot of people looking at the weather forecast going, oh, shit, across big chunks of the country for the eclipse. My brother apparently is heading to Austin. They fly out today, tomorrow. He and his girlfriend are flying out to Texas. They're going to go watch it. Lucky dogs. Jiminius Houston, I saw Trump got his bond, but who looks at a guy and thinks, I'm going to get paid back? And how are people not looking at him and going, he's going to owe major favors if he becomes president? Yeah. So Chubb Insurance, who did the bond for the Eugene Carroll case, that money's coming from their Russian division because they are violating sanctions and still operating in Russia. Knight Insurance, who's doing the $175 million bond, They're a Cayman corporation, so that money is foreign. Who knows where it's coming from? And the bond got rejected today in the paperwork. Apparently, they submitted the paperwork for the bond, and the court's like, you didn't include like your lawyer's name, your financial statements, or anything else that's required in this. So they sent it back. They rejected it. So he and his lawyers have to do it all over again. So they filled it out all wrong. Yeah. Scott's calling me. I gotta tell him that I'm doing my show. Doing a show. Yeah, Scott was supposed to bring Lucky by today. We're gonna have a Lucky Dog, but no Lucky Dog today. So, come on, do your thing. Do your thing. All right, there we go. You would have loved to see Lucky today, although you were just a diarrhea dog all day long. I don't know what. I think she's found something in the woods, has been eating it when she goes out, because she's been hurgly-gurgly for like 5 days. Just absolute. Just her stomach's like, whoa, making all sorts of noises, and then she wakes me up every 30 minutes to go outside. And then in the darkness at 3 a.m, I hear like across the backyard. Dude, I don't know what you've been eating out there, but you need to stop. Stop. Just let it go. Let the coyotes finish it up. Let them have the hurgly-gurglies. One Doug Sifu's money. Be a brand. City of Boston, a BTW brand. City of Boston wants to raise property taxes on residential because valuations of commercial property in the city are falling, plugging their financial hole on the backs of people living their life. Yeah, that's one problem with property taxes is that, Oh, okay, Lucky's not coming. His commercial shoot got changed. Yeah, that's one problem. I think you're going to see a lot of cities suddenly not have revenue streams that they used to have because commercial property is worthless, which is going to lead to, well, the further shitification of our cities, which is why you just need to tax rich people a whole bunch and then stuff gets paid for. Right? Yeah. Every major city is going to run through these problems. It's going to be like the 1970s and 80s all over again when like downtowns were nothing but like pawn shops, liquor stores, and strip clubs. The heyday is coming back. The dirty city. Yeah. Like when you used to go to Times Square and get mugged and like see a penis. Those days are coming back, baby. Looking forward to it. Right, monkey? Yeah. Robert Hurt hoping for a lurker membership tonight. Somebody's got to throw one your way. Is there anyone up for some after dark lurker fishing? Movie account number 2. Houston, what kind of bees make milk? Boobies. Hot Pocket Rebel. You should reach out on the YouTube that did RC April Fool's bit and see if he is under NDA or can talk about his time with RC and if we're going to win or confirm that we're just a bunch of idiots. I can ask. I doubt that Ryan Cohen and company talked to him about anything specific that was going on. Probably kept it pretty late. That'd be my guess, but I can always ask. Oh, shoot. I was about to read Alexander K, and then it all shifted on me. Alexander K, Houston. How much of a culture shock will it be when all these mega millionaires go broke and have to work at Walmart to survive? I do want them, like, writing my name on a cup at Starbucks. That'd be fantastic. Mayor, really? That you have to say it for yourself? How many of you read World War Z, the book? It's an amazing book. In it, the zombie apocalypse is going on. It's basically the entire world's at war trying to stop zombie hordes. Society has collapsed. You got a few, like, safe havens that are walled off and trying to fight their way out to expand and stuff like that to bring back the human condition. And in it, and the way it's written is it's like someone has been tasked by the United Nations to sort of collect an oral history of the zombie war. And one of the interviews in it is about this woman who's like a rich lawyer, right? And her maid, Consuelo, whatever her name is, they're both like drafted into the war effort. And Consuela is in charge of this entire unit at a munitions factory, and the rich, powerful lawyer has to sweep floors. And she's all pissed off because Consuela is now her boss, and she should be Consuela's boss because she's all his education and everything. And like the general in charge is like, look, lady, no one needs a lawyer in the zombie apocalypse. What we need is someone who knows how to sweep floors and maintain buildings. Consuela knows how to do that. You don't know shit. So I kind of want that for all of these bros. I want Consuela to be their boss. Tell them how to do. They don't have enough flair on their uniform, and then nitpick about their breaks and hours and everything else. Just let them experience it. Let them work a job for once in their life. Would be fantastic. Dan Kuhnke, happy to be here, live again. Welcome. J-Dog Powerball time. Winning ticket probably in California again. I had Powerball. It was $1 billion. Anyone win it? Powerball drawing. Powerball home. I have no idea. When they announced that there's a drawing, it usually takes a little while. Or, no winners of the jackpot. So, no, wait. Oh, results pending. That was Mondays. So, results still pending. But you get $527.3 million as the cash. Again, if I were to win, right, I would never claim the ticket. I would create a shell company. The shell company owns the ticket. I would then get a lawyer from a really fancy pants law firm and be like, you're going to help me sell this ticket to private equity, consolidated annuities, bank, someone, and they're going to buy this ticket off of me for just less than the cash value. You know, $527 million, I'll take $500 million. Sign NDA that you'll never reveal who I am. And I will just put that money into my shell corporation and then blink out of existence. I will never be the person who's like, the guy just won. That's just inviting all the trouble in the entire world. You can do that. You can do that way. You can make a irrevocable trust or something, or that claims it for you. Have your lawyer show up, but like, don't show up, get your picture taken, and like shake hands and be like, I won, because you're gonna be dead in 6 months, kidnapped. You know, something's gonna happen to you. You want to be a ghost and just disappear into the night. People be like, oh, I wonder what happened to that guy. I'm like, I don't know. And every once in a while, you might see like a picture of me in the background at like a Formula One event in Monaco. I don't know. But that's what you do. You do not be the person who claims it. Have somebody else claim it on your behalf or pay you so they get it, and you just take a slight discount, right? Paying the capital gains on that is probably better than paying the regular taxes, especially if it's corporate capital gains. Right, Kitty? Right? He's looking at me. He's laying on the floor going, yes, I know. He told us a million times. Broken Arrow, what's the appetite for MMAT shareholders filing a proxy statement with SEC to solicit votes for a specific proposal for director nominees? Probably very high. Probably very, 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 very high. I don't know a single person that's happy with the board right now. So I think that's yes. I think it could be done. Robert Placona? It's his happy birthday. Thank you. Brian Andrews. Did I miss Rosa coming on, or has that been continuously postponed? Hope she's well. I'm sure she's busy as fuck. Yes, it's postponed. She missed a couple of times. The last time I talked to her, she's like, well, we're going to have to do it after Ramadan. So contact me when Ramadan ends. And that's on the 9th. So sometime next week, I'll give her a call, and hopefully we'll get her on and she can talk MMTLP and updates on her appeal and anything else that's happening. But yeah, she's super crazy busy. She's dealing with trying to save as many lives as she can in Palestine. She's got a lawsuit. She has her law firm. She's getting married. She's just a lot on her plate right now. So a moment she can give us an hour for the show, we should be as grateful as humanly possible and show her all the love in the entire world, because she's taken on a lot. So yeah. Citizen 54. Havana Syndrome back in the news. A new report links secret Russian intel unit to Havana Syndrome cases. Is this real or new Gulf of Tonkin? I saw that. I wouldn't doubt if ultrasonic sound lasers are being used for stuff like that. Have you guys ever seen those things? They are crazy. So you can do certain ultrasonic waves. You can focus them in planar waves so that only the people that are being aimed at by these things can hear it, but they don't hear it in their ears. They hear it in their brain. It is wild. They have them on ships that pass through like the Straits of Hormuz and stuff for pirates, like going to the Red Sea or passing by Somalia, because you point these things and they can go for miles, right? The planar waves can travel for miles. And you can point it at one of those little pirate ships, and everyone on that ship feels like their brain is exploding, and they just turn around and drive away. There's also a couple of ideas that they wanted to use them in museums and like grocery stores and stuff for targeted advertising in grocery stores, or for like if you're on an audio tour, right? You get the headset audio tour, go through the museum, or you can just stand in a certain spot and you can hear the entire audio tour when you stand in those spots, which is pretty neat. So it could be used that way, but I would not doubt if the Russians were doing something, doing an ultrasonic brown note to hit them with. So there's research that's been done into that. Also, I think a lot of them were just people that had Havana Syndrome were just alcoholics. that was probably happening too. Oh, I feel terrible. Every night I have like 40 palomas and I just feel so sick. Yeah. Robert Conan, did you get a chance to look into QuantumScape solid state battery company? I think we looked at them briefly. I haven't done anything beyond that. Building the best solid state battery. Yeah, I think we looked at these guys. QuantumScape's on a mission to transform energy storage with solid-state lithium metal battery technology. The company's next-generation batteries are designed to enable greater energy density, faster charging, and enhanced safety to support the transition away from legacy energy sources towards a lower carbon future. So what do they got for their battery tech? Delivering promise of solid-state technology, legacy lithium-ion batteries are approaching the limits of their possible energy density, just as demand for higher-performing energy storage surges. QuantumScape's groundbreaking technology is designed to overcome the major shortfalls of legacy batteries and bring us into a new era. They don't talk about it at all. The tech is here. Give me the tech. Fast charge, life, da-da-da-da. Are you doing graphene? What are you doing? Lithium. Solid state facts. What is a solid state battery? Solid state lithium. Oh, they're doing solid state lithium. Okay. So, yeah. GMG is doing aluminum ion. So they're just carbon and aluminum. So you don't have to worry about trying to find lithium. Just like a pop can's worth of aluminum is enough for like 20 cars. Replace polymer separator using conventional lithium-ion batteries with solid-state separator. The placement of the separator enables carbon or silicon anode used in conventional lithium-ion batteries to be replaced with a lithium metal anode. Lithium metal anode is more energy dense than conventional anodes, allowing the battery to store a greater amount of energy in the same volume. Some solid-state designs use excess lithium to form the anode, but the QuantumScape design is anode-free in that the battery is manufactured anode-free in a discharged state, and the anode forms in situ on the first charge. Okay, so they're still using lithium. I think if GMG is successful with their designs, that anything lithium-based is toast, personally. Lithium is expensive to mine, hard to mine. Environmental disasters abound with it. And so, interesting to see how well they do and how much energy density they get out of the lithium-based ones. Talk about stability of ceramics they use. They're using graphite, not graphene. I'll be curious to see all these different solid state batteries that come out. Like, what are they all made of? How much they cost? Who's going to win the war? Trey 3 Houston, any birthday plans next month? If you could celebrate anywhere for a day, where would it be? I could celebrate. I mean, every day's my birthday. I'm celebrating my everyday birthday right here next to this farty dog. If I could celebrate my birthday anywhere, where would it be? A lot of years in the past, I like to go up to Whistler and go skiing. And then go play a round of terrible golf. And then eat sushi. That's always been a good birthday. But that's, that's accessible. We're talking, where would Houston go if he had unlimited resources for his birthday? Maybe go... Kitty, I'm stumped. I'm stumped as because one day. I think one day. I'm thinking like a whole trip, weeks at some place. Like one specific day spent anywhere. Teleport there like a Star Trek. Man, that's a good one. Where are the... Let's one sec. Maybe go see a Mariners game on the road. That'd be pretty fun. Go watch the Mariners blow a lead to... I don't know. Maybe go see a Mariners game on the road and eat a steak dinner at the fanciest restaurant they have in town. That'd probably be a pretty good birthday. That's what I'm gonna settle on. That or I don't know, get into a laser battle on the moon with the lizard people. That's on Earth. JL 2023. There's a crow in my yard that has been coughing. Yogi 2012. Does this mean my chicken wings are going up in price? At this rate, I'm going to have to switch to eating ribeyes over wings. Probably, if giant, huge, massive farms are all having to cull their herds. I mean, they're culling like 300,000 chickens minimum at that big egg laying place in Texas. Yeah. So, here it comes. Shane E. Did you see the pics? Those cars were targeted. Those cars. The World Central Kitchen cars. Yeah. Apparently, there's an AI program that Israel's been using for targeting, and the higher ups told the people who you don't normally monitor, like what targets get hit, to just ignore any other intel and go with the AI. So there's our future. We're going to have AI deciding who gets murdered, when and where, and no humans will check its work to make sure it's doing the right thing. So, good job, humanity. Great work. No notes. Sis54, more EVs have joined the market. Constant Tesla breakdowns posted on social media, especially on Cybertruck, and Elon is wholly unlikable, which hurts them even more, plus lack of design innovation. Yeah, I saw a thing today. A guy went to hit the brakes on his Cybertruck, and the Cybertruck did not stop and rammed into a pole, and then the airbags didn't go off, which I thought they weren't supposed to have airbags, but apparently the NTSB forced them to have airbags finally. Because I was really thinking, no crumple zone, no airbags, and a marble dashboard would just make for some fantastic thinning of the herd. But, apparently they're supposed to have airbags, but just haven't been going off. I wonder what the insurance company is going to do on that. Are they just going to total the car? Because it is really, 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 really expensive to fix. Might just cheaper for them to just total it at this point and be done with it. So have any Cybertrucks showed up on Copart yet? Copart.com. No, not locations. I just want Copart. Copart in general. Boom. Search inventory. That's what we want to do. We want to do. Okay, let's see. Let's see if anything's showing up. Okay, select inventory. We want. Use vehicle, buy it now. Filter vehicle type, vehicle make. That's what we want. Keep scrolling all the way down to T. Going to T. Tesla. Shabam. All right. Vehicle model. Do we have any Cybertrucks yet? Model 3. Oh, doesn't look like any Cybertrucks have popped up on here yet. But we do have just a miscellaneous parts. I don't see Cybertruck. No Cybertrucks. No Cybertrucks. No Cybertrucks yet. Oh, that's within 50 miles. We want to do the entire country. Are you doing the entire country? There we go. No Cybertrucks, no Cybertrucks, no Cybertrucks. That's all he has. Oh, that's just doing Seattle here. Why are you just doing Seattle? You're supposed to be doing the entire country, you ding dong. Why? Why are you just doing North Seattle? That's all the Teslas in North Seattle. We don't care about that. I want to know the entire country where Cybertrucks are getting absolutely just ravaged. I'll work on that later. You guys only see me stare at Copart. But it'll happen eventually. Ooh. Anonymous. Leela. Poor Taste in Porn. Derek Colhorst. Brenda Queen of Swords. Daphne. All got little get memberships there. Not a single one of those was a lurker though. No lurkers. You got active users. Swing and a miss. You can't win them all. All right. Sis54, surprise, Trump's Truth social media company popped up in 2022 by a Russian American under criminal investigation. Oh yeah, they're all under criminal investigation. All the board members have been indicted for insider trading and other nefarious things. 2 guys who were heavily involved in the company, friends with one of the insiders, just pled guilty to like tens of millions of dollars of insider trading on privileged information. The ex-CEO is suing everybody on the board. Trump's suing the founders of the company. It is a giant mess. Meow, what's going on with the pump and dump lawsuit and BBBY Butterfly? No word on pump and dump lawsuit. BBBY Butterfly, it appears like there might be 2 entities at the moment. That there's the wind down debtors, which is what Goldberg's in charge of, and then there's possibly the assets that are going to be kept. And that is a separate entity, is acting sort of like a holding company at the moment for all of that. And we're waiting to hear if there is a credit bid for those assets. It includes the Knolls, includes some real estate, other IP, trademarks, things like that they have. And so we do this. Other than that, I got no news. Nothing. Not a damn thing there, meow. So we twiddle them thumbs and we wait and we wait. We wait and we wait. And maybe we take a sip of water and we wait some more. And that's what we do, right? That's all you do. You sit here and you wait all day while I talk to a wall. And you sit there and you hope that maybe it will end up in some nuggies. And, but nope, you just sit there like a good dog and watch me talk at a wall. right? Just like this. And then you stare at the back of my head, and your eyeballs every once in a while dart up there while you're staring at the back of my head, right? Yeah? Is that what's happening? Yep, there's the shift right there. There it is. She's looking right at him. She's doing the... to me, right? Yeah? You do it again? You look back up there again? Huh? Is that what you're looking at? You're just staring at me. Staring contest. Who blinks first loses. Whoever blinks first loses. Are you going to blink? Oh, that was a blink. You lost. Okay. Jesse J, is the mic muted? I don't think so. I see it doing the squiggle on my end. Maybe you're accidentally muted on your end. Do we Wall ain't got notifications, YouTube? What the F? Indeed. Season 4, Houston, thoughts on Jack Smith's response to Judge Cannon? Is he playing chess against a tic-tac-toe level opponent? Is he finally fed up with her defense of Trump? I would not doubt if we see the prosecution go to the, what they call it, the Chief Justice of that particular district and be like, look, she needs to recuse herself or you need to replace her with somebody else. Because she's really, truly dicking around and showing judicial prejudice. And that should be enough for the Chief Justice to go, you know what, we're going to put somebody else in here. It's also telling that her clerks keep quitting. So clerkships are highly coveted. Like if you're going to get a clerkship at a federal court, you probably just graduated from like a top 20 law school in the top 10% of your class. It's a huge, huge thing to add to your CV, and you'll get a job in prosecutor offices and, you know, big time law firms. And it's a 1 or 2 year long clerkship, and all of them are quitting before their terms due. And it's like if you quit your clerkship, that's like a huge like big red stamp on your record. These people don't care. They're like, I can't stand her, I'm out, and they're leaving. The one person who went on the record after she left had the most menacing, like backhanded compliment quote. They're like, you know, you quit, and what would you take away? She's like, oh, I learned a lot while being a clerk for Judge Cannon. I learned how to handle all sorts of emergencies and, you know, problems, and to be self-sufficient and not rely on anyone for help. Like, I learned how to figure out everything on my own. Like, it was the most backhanded thing ever. It's a pretty beautiful quote. But yeah, I wouldn't doubt if Jack Smith and the feds go to ask her to be taken or recuse herself from that. Andrew Stewart, do all EM wavelengths, example X-ray, infrared, radiation, get pulled to event horizon of a black hole at the same speed? They do. What happens is the more energetic you are, the steeper the redshift decline can be. So like you have something like gamma ray, right, which is freakishly high frequency alpha radiation, and that gamma ray gets stretched and stretched and stretched till it goes X-ray, till it goes ultraviolet, till it goes to visible light, till it becomes infrared, and then microwave and radio, and then nothingness. So yeah, everything gets stopped by a black hole. All light travels the same speed. All light will be halted by the same gravitational forces. They'll just be redshifted at different rates, or not different rates. They'll be redshifted deeper across the spectrum, I guess, the higher frequency it is. That's probably the term I'm trying to find. I'll go with that. But yes, they do. Avocados, go. Kevin, meow. Avocados, Gobi is cool. Przewalski horses? Are those the horses that are the wild horses that then discovered actually came from an extinct people? Przewalski horse. Yeah, these are the ones. Yes. So these horses, I learned this in my ancient history class, my first class took through my history masters. So these guys right here, these horses are this native horse There's like, oh, it's this wild horse it's out there and out in the Gobi and in the steppe. And the crazy thing is about it that don't yell at me, cat, is that they were in fact domesticated by an ancient people that went extinct. And in a lot of these places throughout the Asian steppe and the Gobi and stuff like that, that the horse people were the first ones to get crazy zoonotic viruses compared to everyone else. Because prior to that, everyone was hunter gatherers, right? They would go, maybe they might eat horses, and then someone figured out how to make the bit. You jam it in their mouth and bug the hell out of a horse and make them do what you want because it's such a painful thing. What they found is that the horses have a unique genetic signature, and then they found remnants of some ancient 5,000-year-old civilization out there, and then they found DNA in that matched these horses in their corrals. Like, holy crap. So the people died, probably got some sort of, equine flu from these horses, killed off the entire population, and the horses like, well, I guess we'll wander around. And that's what they did. So it's pretty wild. So these guys are neat. What's the coolest animal in the Gobi? Man, probably these guys. Animals of the Gobi Desert. There's a bear called the Gobi bear. There's a wild two-hump camel. The Mongolian wild ass. They got a jerboa, which is like a little bouncy mouse. They got a brown bat. Snow leopards. Rare animals in the Gobi. Let's look at that one. Okay. Well, you guys can't see what I'm doing here. Why on earth is this thing? Nope. Why are you? Ah, okay. I need to click on that. Why is this so small? Chrome. Why are you so small? Why aren't you bigger? Dang it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's so small right now. I can't figure it out. All right. So we got ibexes. We got ibexes. I mean, ibexes are cool. They got cool horns and stuff. There we go. There's the Jorba, little bouncy mouse. We got, looks like more ibexes. Ibex. There's the bear, the Gobi bear. There's the whatchamajigger horses. We got some snakes, got some tarantulas, got some lizards. There's some, looks like, those might be snow leopards of some kind. There you go. Two-hump camels. Wild two-hump camels. More ibexes. There's some sort of like fisher cat or something. There you go. Not too many animals out there. Not too much megafauna. That's what they are. Okay. Avocados, I totally live there in a yurt. No yak milk, though. Shudder. Don't you want like the petrified yak milk butter they bury in the ground and then let age for like years and only bring out when someone is like getting married? I had a professor in college who did a year in the highlands of Pakistan, and she was like, the fermented butter, like they had a party for me when I left, and she said before that she felt like she tried like blending with the community and becoming a member of the community, and everyone knew she was only there for a short amount of time. It was really hard for her to like make relationships with people, and she said that by the time she left, everyone was so excited to have a party for her because they loved her so much. They brought out the fermented yak butter. She was like, that she's like was the most heartfelt thing she could possibly think of, because you were not allowed to have the yak milk butter for anything other than the most special of occasions. So her, I guess, getting the hell out of town was a special occasion. Oh, Yogi MJ is a marijuana ETF. Ah, Mary Jane. Okay, all right. Tia says, Jack Smith's the man, he'll get the judge removed. Oh, great. Then there's, okay. Pronto. How can a single meteor completely wipe out almost all dinosaurs while sparing other species at the time? Okay. All right. So the species that probably lived are A, aquatic based, or B, burrowing animals. Everything else probably got cooked. So prevailing theory is there's basically three big things that happen with a huge meteor impact or impact of a comet. Thing flies to the atmosphere, smacks on Earth, and the subsequent explosion from the impact is monumental. We're talking wave of fire that can spread out. If it's big enough, can basically go around the entire Earth, burning up a big chunk of the atmosphere. That's terrifying. Two are the long-term effects, where there's such a huge cloud of debris, it blocks out the sun for months or years at a time, basically turning the Earth into a snowball. Okay. Number three is known as, what they call it, the atmospheric oven effect. So this debris, what are called tektites, splatter outwards, go into outer space, and then re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. And as they re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, they burn up, right? Because that's what happens when you are going really fast. You hit the atmosphere, you have all sorts of friction, and you compress the air in front of you, and it superheats. And basically, as all this material is raining back down on the Earth, so much of it is raining back down the Earth that all these individual pieces of rocks and dust hitting the atmosphere at the same time and start to cook at the same time, raising the Earth's atmospheric temperature to possibly hundreds of degrees in just a few hours all over the surface of the Earth. So you can imagine like, oh man, I survived the impact. That's crazy. The fire stopped over there, right? But then all of a sudden, like, man, it's really warm. Man, it's really, really warm. Man, and then all the water leaves your body because you just basically boil. It'll cool down after a couple of days. So if you're underground, you can avoid the 100-degree temperatures that happen, 200-degree temperatures that happen. You might have, might not survive the Earth getting freezing cold thing, but if you're at the right latitude, or you've right kind of fur or feathers, and you have a nice little burrowy hole you can be in, there's a chance you can survive. There's also a whole bunch of cooked carcasses you can eat that will be out there. So scavenging for a while. Once it gets really cold too, a lot of that meat's going to get preserved. So a lot of scavenger creatures probably survived really, really well during that time. But it did kill off like 97% of life on Earth, meaning a lot of life in the ocean died. Anything that was cold-blooded just died. They can only last for so long in hibernation before they're done. Cat, do you really want to get out of here? Is that really what you want? Because if you stand at that door and meow to come back in, I am going to lose my shit. But yeah, is that what you think? What's happening? Do you want to go? We have technology. You can get the hell out of here. There you go. Ungrateful little monster, right? Just an ungrateful monster, monkey. But yeah, there you go. Stephanie L. When BBBY first jumped off and you kept saying it was a gamble, and if you lose, then you'd consider it entertainment cash. Oh, what do you think now? Is it now just waiting game for you? Thumb aerobics? I wait and I twiddle. Somewhere at some time, someone is going to want those nulls because they're worth billions. Just in the sheer tax savings alone, probably $2 to $3 billion. Someone's going to want those. And if they want them, and they want them for the company, they're going to have to give us their equity back. They aren't just going to just sit on their ass and let that just go poof when there's $2 to $3 billion on the line. So, yeah. I personally think that a deal, basically, it's already been made. We're just waiting for the specific announcement for it to happen. And I just do this and wait 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 and wait. I mean, Washington Mutual had $600 million in nulls, and it took 10 years, which is a lot longer than I want this to go on. I do not want this to go on for 10 years. That's just a pain in my ass. But it took 10 years, and the stock went from 1 cent to $74. So that's over $600 million in nulls. This is 5 times that, right? And I think it's going to go faster. I think the company went into bankruptcy specifically as sort of an FU to the short hedge funds. And I think that was planned. I think this whole plan to capture the nulls and do all this stuff as an FU to these short hedge funds. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm doing my show. Okay. But yeah, that's other things happening. Okay, I did that part. Marijuana ETF. Okay, where was I? Robert Hurt, where's Gardner staying? I got some MMAT questions for him. I think he's staying in Austin. I have no idea where. They're flying to Albuquerque to see some people in New Mexico, and then they're driving towards Austin after that. So beyond that, I don't know. Consuelo is one of my favorite characters in Family Guy. No. Jake Guys, a Triangle of Sadness movie where maid is boss greatness. Never heard of it. All right. First Day Productions puts on DJT are super pricey. They are, because there's a whole bunch of implied volatility in there, because I think, as everyone knows, it's going to crash really, really hard. Treetop in Georgia, your name has to be on it. If you claim it, no anonymous winners. Yeah, I think, does Georgia make it so like a trust or a company can't claim it? Because just claim it in another state, man. Just be like, I got this ticket. I don't live in Georgia, so I'm going to hand it in here. In this state I live in. Shane E, they are able to make a brown note. I know they did a brown note test on Mythbusters and it didn't work, but there's got to be a resonant frequency in there somewhere that gives you the hurgly gurglies. Treetop, I noticed people mentioning the cannabis stocks. I banked on GCG and Tilray today, big time. Still holding a couple of runners. Let's go Germany, legalize it everywhere. Shaney, they're practically able to make the brown note in actual English. 101 Nas 101. Houston, how much wood would Woodchuck chuck if Woodchuck could chuck rock solid sucking Pulte's wiener and abandoning his friends for $500? I don't know. Tia says probably worth the money on DJT puts. Mm-hmm. Jake Geyser, Antarctica. Oh, for my birthday? Just check out your list. I would love doing Antarctica. Probably not on my birthday. That sounds pretty miserable. Maybe another time of year would work. Oh, now the cat wants back in again? Oh my god. You just left, you whiny little turd. Now you want back in? Is that it? Huh? Or you whining at the other door? Oh, you're whining at the other door. You don't care. He wants to go see his friend. Citizen 54, best place to look at land for sale, not starting a farm, just a nice plot to live on. I mean, how big? How big a land are you looking for? If you're looking for like a cheap chunk of property, Land Central's probably the way to go. This is a lot of like owner finance land. So these guys they got property all over. You can look at different states. You can look at California. They got some lands here. 2.5 acres on the desert. Some stuff in the trees. A lot of this owner finance, and it's pretty cheap because it's basically auction land. Some of it is bigger. Like there's 20 acres out in the desert you can get. So you get 20 acres, no trees or anything. Cheap land. There you go. Sometimes they have good properties pop up. Like once I saw like 117 acres in Montana, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. Then there is Land Watch. Come on. This thing is bothering me. I need to do... Why is my Chrome... Oh, okay. For some reason, my Chrome is, I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, I know what's happening. One sec. Because this thing, there we go. Ah, that was the problem. Okay. For some reason it was in a window and not in, all right. So I need to go like there. Thank you. All right. There we go. All right. Landwatch. Landwatch.com. This is the one, if you're looking for like land of any kind, this is the shit. MLS searchable. You can look, let's look at ranches, right? So we can just search this guy, and then we can do sort and go by large, small. This is landwatch.com. So right now the biggest chunk of land is 860,000 acres in White Pine County, Nevada. It's probably not actually 860,000 acres. It's probably like a big chunk of actual land, and then you have all sorts of BLM rights and everything. But $15 million, not too shabby. You can get 400,000 acres in Brewster County, Texas. I think this one has like a full canyon from Rio Grande in it. Yeah, this one's pretty amazing. This is one of the most expensive properties in America. So you get this whole chunk of southern Texas, huge piece, basically the size of entire states. 400,000 acres. Let's view all the pictures because this is a pretty remarkable chunk of land. Give me a picture. We've got $200 million. It's a great way to go. Look at this. You got ponds. You got mountains. You've got more mountains. You've got vistas and mountains and valleys. You got more mountains and rivers. You got more mountains. You got entire canyons that you can own. You can own a canyon. You can have your deer and have Dick Cheney shoot you in the face. Rivers and valleys and canyons and rivers and valleys, and there's like 50 homes all over the property and farms, and you can be a rancher, be as big a vanity rancher as you want. So anyway, there's that. You can get 300,000 acres in Lakeland, Florida. A big chunk of the Everglades, apparently. 300,000 acres in Wyoming. This is the same property as above. This just different chunks. They get split up in different pieces. There's 200,000 acres in Wyoming. Nice meandering river through there. You can get 200,000 acres in Alaska. You can buy an entire island in the Aleutian Islands for $11 million. That's pretty neat. You get 160,000 acres in Nevada. 120,000 acres in Colorado. 113,000 acres in Texas. Out in the flat deserts. Another 100,000 acres in Colorado up in the mountains. That's pretty neat. So here you go, 97,000 acres for $2.5 million in Arizona? I think that must be a typo of some kind. There's no way 97,000 acres are available that much in Arizona. That's got to be a typo. Large ranch, 97,000 acres, mid to high elevation, 625 head year-round stock. Really? 97,000 acres? It's got to be all... Not BLM land? That's crazy. Where is that? What town? Oops. What town are you? You are Verde Lakes Water Corporation. Okay. Does look like 97,000 acres, though. That looks significantly smaller than 97,000. Oh, it's 9,200 acres. Okay. They had an extra zero, those ding-dongs. 9,200 acres, not 97,000. But still, that's a good chunk of land for $2 million. 77,000 in Texas. 66,000 in Montana. More Texas. Jordan River, Oregon. And 61,000 acres. 60,000 acres in Idaho. Yeah, Landwatch. If you want land. And it goes all the way down to like 1 acre. It's all just like chunks of land. So, off market. What does that even mean? Like land that was for sale and is no longer for sale? 920,000 acres, Elko County. All right. I'm going to get distracted forever looking at this. But yeah, there you go. Landwatch. Hit it up. C5 trait is here. Shane E. Essential. Yes, Andrew. The speed of light is limit electromagnetic spectrum. Oh, yes. DBWA 420. Lifetime worker. Never win shit. Well, you participate. You do participate. So you're not a lurker, technically. The lurkers are the folks that just never. Diane B. Smart lurkers have gifting turned off. Snort Wasabi says BBY might just be the play of the century. I hope. Ludicrous speed. Powerball rolled to 1.23 billion. If I win, I will use it to cause Moas. I'll honeypot like 5 different companies. You better believe the first thing I will do with that pile of cash is honeypot someone. Oh my goodness, I will honeypot the crap out of them. I will set up a foreign LLC in a country that does not reveal ownership. Caymans, whatever. I will then purchase, using 20, 30 different companies, brokerages, as many shares as humanly possible and amass them like crazy. And then announce I'm taking the company private. At a price of $1 million a share or something, and just absolutely blow up Wall Street. Just done. Thank you, Ludicrous. Ubi, Biden not replenishing oil reserves? I thought they were. National Strategic Oil Reserve. What do we got here? Strategic Petroleum Reserve, infographic, storage sites, inner reports. Give me. That just took me right back to where I was. Give me the SPR distribution system. Blah, 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 blah. Acquisition procedures. I want to know how much is in current level. That's what we want. Okay, bits info 363 million. So it's going up, looks like. So, yes, currently looks like they're loading up. So they were at 346, so that are low, July of last year, and they've added about 17 million more barrels to the Strategic Petroleum Reserve since then. So not quite where we were at the peak. We're at 366 was a year ago. We're not quite there yet, but what's the 3 or 5 year look like? We're way down since our peak, which was 2021. We're at 600 million. So, oops. Wait, what are you doing? Go back. What? No, go forward. Oh, max. That's what I want. Oh, there is no max, just a 5 year. So yeah, it looks like we're at 600 million for most of the time. And when oil prices start to get crazy is when they started releasing. So it's going up just very slowly. My guess is that when the economy collapses, they'll fill it back up again because oil will drop down to like $20 a barrel, and the U.S. government will make a profit off of all the oil they sold from here. So they'll probably buy back in when it gets really cheap. Beaver Brand, the thought of old fats as food. Ew. Brandon Cowles. Houston, I received an email about class action lawsuit by MMTLP. Have you? Also, how do I send it to you so you can review and talk about the show? The lawsuit against MMTLP is, again, by these bogus assholes, ambulance chasers. I will not sign up for it. I don't want to give them a class. It's like, do not sign up for the lawsuit, because what they're going to do is they're going to destroy the value of your shares by suing the company. What they're claiming is that the company somehow lied in their financial reports, costing you money. Because the stock, they said it was worth more than $1. Well, they never said the value of the stock, and you bought it for $1, so who gives a shit? It's literally, they're like, we want to do this lawsuit. We need people to agree to be like the chief plaintiff and form a class for us so we can do a class action lawsuit. And if you don't sign up for it, then they're not going to be able to sue and waste everyone's time and money. And if you do win, it's going to be like $1 million spread amongst 200 million shares, and everyone's going to get a fraction of a penny. It's not going to be worth anyone's time. The lawyers will get, their 30% cut and be done with it. So ignore it. They're a bunch of assholes. That's what I have to say. Since your 206, who blew them up in Gaza was Airstrike Anonymous? The IDF. It was an Israeli jet went and blew up their car. The World Central Kitchen guys. It was pretty gnarly. J-Dog, Powerball keeps rolling. One $1 million winner in Washington. Ooh, sexy. Maybe it's me. I can't do a honeypot with $1 million though. But I can get or build a 4x4 RV and hit the road. Dan Kuhnke, how do you feel about a 4-year-old man finally going to university? Can it still be done? Hell yeah, man. Do it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. My mom didn't get her nursing degree until she was 40. Managed to work at the VA and amass her pension and retire. So, keep going to school. That's what I say, right, Monkey? Any opportunity you have to go get an education, I say do it. Especially if you learn something you want to learn. Like if it's something that fascinates you and can help you in a career path, or just because you like learning stuff, by all means, do it. Although a whole bunch of bipartisan members of Congress and the Senate put into the FAA Act a little piece of legislation that would ban the ability of canceling any student debt. So I'm looking at you, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. You guys put your names on this thing. Fuck you. Get rid of student debt. Eliminate student debt and make public institutions tuition free. Just do it already. Stop saddling everyone with fucking debt. It's so garbage. Let people get educated so that we can have the best population we could possibly have. That's what I think. But anyway, or you can be like me and just take on all the debt in the entire world, and that's your life. Medical stuff is good work. Medical stuff is good work. Am I at the end already? Might as well. Okay. I'll let you guys throw some more questions in there, and I will do one of these. Boink. That's the stuff. That's what we've been staring at for the last 30 minutes, huh? It was the stinky beef. We're down to stinky beef little chunks. We're definitely like the nuggy nuggies here. All the little nuggies a monkey butt could ever want. Just little chunks. That's all we got. Want to come get this little chunk right there? Get that one? Oh. How about this one? It's higher. It's harder to get to. Can you get to that one? Can you reach? Oh, there it is. All right. Shall we do a couple of Jaws cams? A couple of Jaws cams for you, monkey? Dun 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 dun. How about one more? One more on the Jaws cam. Right there. My nose is clearing up, and the stinky beef is very stinky. Oh, that's why I can smell your horrible farts, monkey. But it's all right. You're a good dog. You are. You're just such a happy little dog. Come here. Come here. Tell me you're a good dog you are. Yes, you are. You're a good dog. Yes, you are. You had a good day? You ran around? You smelled things? You went for a long walk? Yep. You had to eat some meatloaf? That was good. Yeah, stepmom gave her some meatloaf. Fantastic. Oh, no, that one. Oh, no. Forgot to turn it off before I gave you your thingies. Well, there goes my streak. All right. Now turn it off. There we go. Stephanie L. Shit, man, I'm 56, and I'm going back to get my second master's, this time in clinical psychology. Why not? Exactly. Why not? Fill your brain. That's like, you're here on Earth to have experiences. That's it. That's what these big, giant bases are all about, is having experiences, gaining knowledge, and then interacting with others using that knowledge. So you may as well gobble up as much know-how as you possibly can while you're here on Earth. Some people, they got cabeças that aren't that good, and they can do the interacting part. But you know what? If your cabeça allows you to gobble up information all at the same time, get those pleasure zones, gobble up the information, man. Corporal Walnut, do we still have no fractional reserve requirements right now? As far as I can tell, yes. Every bank is fudged. $2 trillion or $3 trillion? What was it? I think Julio's probably asleep by now. I got sent an article. I think it's $3 trillion in corporate real estate bonds and mortgages mature in the next 2 years. At least $1 trillion this year. We're already at 6% delinquency. A building in downtown LA that defaulted just sold for like $100 million on a $300 or $400 million bond that they defaulted on. So if you are a real estate buyer with chunks of cash, you're going to get some screaming deals over the next couple of years. Because eventually, the work from home stuff will happen, but the population will still grow and the properties will eventually fill. But yeah. Diane B. Absolutely. I took mostly night classes as an undergrad. Most people in class were 35 to 50, career changers and finishers. I bounced around at colleges. I was supposed to be a traditional college student and go do my 4 years, play baseball, become engineer, and be out. And getting hit by a car and then basically being bankrupted by the medical expenses after that because my insurance company sucked and refused to cover it. I found myself in the workforce at 18, but I was doing tech work and I was making good money and they paid that crap off. But I had to bounce around at community college for a while. And I bounced around. And by the time I got to Hawaii, which is my permanent school, I was a little older. I was in my my early mid 20s, and what I liked about it so much was that almost everybody was a non-traditional student in that program, at the school in general. Like, most people who show up as freshmen to Hawaii leave after the first semester, especially at Hilo. Because Hilo, it just pisses rain day in, day out. There are no beaches. The locals want to kick your ass. And so if you're 18 years old and you're like, I'm going to go sit on the beach in my bikini and have a great time, you are going to have a miserable time because it's expensive. You don't have a car. You're stuck on campus. It is not an ideal freshman scenario. If you are a non-traditional student and you're coming in with life experiences and have been on your own for a while and you got a car and you're going to come in and be like, cool, I can explore stuff. And you're going to have an awesome time. And you're going to meet a whole bunch of people that are there specifically for that program you're in, who all have similar life experiences of bouncing around, having other careers. It was great. It was a fantastic way to be a non-traditional student was at Hilo. And you'll find schools like that. You'll find other schools that don't fit. Like, you go off to a fancy pants private college, talking like Amherst or Colby or Whitman or something, right? And you're in this small liberal arts campus with a whole bunch of 18-year-olds, you're going to feel weird. But if you're at a big university, a community college, a grad program, or a school like Hilo, which kind of caters to these non-traditional students in a university setting, you're going to have a great time. You're going to meet some really cool people. And I highly recommend it. Like, go back, learn. Yeah, sometimes you might be the oldest dude in class. Okay, so what? Right? You can show off all your life knowledge to these like pipsqueaks, and then go, "Whoa, you're old. You're making references we don't understand." But yeah. Dan Kunke, you guys are awesome. I'm trying to start a family and show my kids that even though I've been through tremendous adversity, I still did something with my life. There you go. That's as good a reason as any, and learn a lot in the process. First Day Productions, when Moas happens, I'm getting a Rickenbacker. Okay, I can respect that. If you know, Rickenbacker is a like Art Deco style of guitar. First Day Productions. Oh, sorry. Citizen 54. Some short hedge funds are supporting Republicans. I think the gamble is dump the economy before the election to hurt Biden and have a shot. Cheeto Jesus bails them out on, or screws independent investors, screws independent investors. I think it's possible. I don't give him a good chance of having freedom by the time November comes around. Now, they've managed to draw out. We were supposed to have the first court case start in February, and that didn't happen. It's been stalled because they appealed to the Supreme Court. Like, can Trump be tried because he have immunity for things that he did as president? Which I think the Supreme Court rules that, yes, he has immunity. Then that gives Biden carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wants to whoever he wants. And he might as well just, put a hit out on Trump because he can't get punished for it, according to the Supreme Court. So, and plus his whole immunity thing is basically admitting that he committed crimes. I committed crimes I'm immune to because I was president, which defeats the entire purpose of the whole checks and balances. Like, the judiciary is a check on everything. So why shouldn't the judiciary be able to be a check on the president? Right? But anyway, or an ex-president, as it were in this case. Private citizen, Trump, who is indicted on 91 instances. I think he's toast in New York on his fraud charges. He's definitely toast in Georgia on those state charges because that's a RICO case, and 35 people who should have been charged with crimes all turned state's witness, taking actual immunity in that case. And the way RICO is set up is you're in a criminal conspiracy. Therefore, if this guy commits a crime and you're part of his cabal, then it's as if you committed that crime. So this guy over here commits a crime. You over here are just as screwed for him committing the crime because you are an organized crime unit. So you do not want to get tied up in RICO, man. One person pleading guilty is the same as everybody involved pleading guilty. Because yes, I committed that crime and I was part of that group. Then everybody in that group is now guilty of that crime. He's really screwed in Georgia on that alone. Corporate Walnut Pulte tweeted he spoke to Trump. You think he paid for the call? Oh, he definitely paid for the call. And Pulte's in trouble right now for sending $500,000 to a PAC that supports Trump and then trying to hide where the money came from. So he violated some campaign finance laws on that one. And so he's still going through the courts and legal stuff on that. Basically, he tried to launder $500,000 in Trump's campaign. So yeah. Treetop REM used Rickenbacker. Very distinct sound. Rickenbackers are cool guitars, man. Citizen 54, is there a law against running from jail? Eligibility issue, not saying Biden won, screw us, but the chance is probably smaller. Depends on the state, because states all have individual election laws. Lyndon LaRouche ran for president from prison, but he wasn't on all state ballots. There's lots of state ballots that prohibit people actively serving from running for office, or actively serving prison time from running for office. Not all states have that law. Depending on what he gets convicted for. If he gets convicted for in the DC case regarding the insurrection, then my guess is the 14th Amendment kicks in and he's not allowed on any state ballots at that point. So, but that case is one of the ones that could be delayed via this appeal to the Supreme Court, whether he's got immunity or not. Yeah. Treetop, yeah, I'm in Georgia. Trump is toast here. Yeah. It was a conspiracy to overturn election. Exactly. He is so screwed. And a lot of people who are big Trump fans don't understand the gravity of a RICO case like this. You don't lose RICO cases if you're the prosecutor and you got somebody to flip. You don't lose it. You win it. Because the way it's set up, it's all about criminal conspiracy. And if you are part of an organized criminal organization, which this is what they're alleging in Georgia, and you got one person to flip, let alone 30, right? You're not going to win that. Imagine you're a mobster. You are in the mob. You are a mob boss. You are the mob boss. You manage to try and make yourself as clean as possible in the public view, but the Southern District of New York is coming after you, and they arrested 50 of your henchmen. Right? All your underlings, your enforcers, your collectors, your bookies, all those guys, the rest, all of them. And they're all sitting there. They're like, not saying a word, not saying a word, not saying a word. And then they start getting charged. You're getting charged with 50 counts of this and 45 counts of that. And we got you on tape doing this. We got you signing this document. And we have you with this undercover cop and this CI. And they start guaranteeing that you are going to spend decades in prison, right? But if you're willing to cop a plea and admit to all this, we will grant you full immunity so long as you testify that that guy was part of your organization. All of a sudden, some guy's looking at 50 years in prison and never seeing his kids again is like, yeah, you know, Biggie G did it all. He was part of our organization. That's exactly what they did in Georgia, is that they arrested and charged. They talked to, I think it was like 80 people in Georgia, 30 something of them basically said, yeah, we committed a crime. We did it, and agreed to turn state's evidence. A whole bunch of people got charged because they weren't agreeing to turn state's evidence. And when they got charged, they went, oh shit, this is real. And then all of a sudden, several of them turned state's evidence after they got charged. And Trump is screwed. He's absolutely 100% screwed in the Georgia case on RICO alone. That one is just going to be brutal. Fabrizio says plop. Plop. Is that it? I'm at the end. I'm at the end. I have no more nuggies to give. I got water to drink. I have no more questions. Kind of a quiet Wednesday. Not too much going on for us to talk about. That's okay. I can end 15 minutes early. I'm okay with that. I downloaded Wolfenstein and I've been having fun blowing up Nazis and stuff. So yeah, I'll do one day here. I'll see you guys Friday. Probably a daytime show on Friday. Stephanie L does ask, what do you think will happen when Biden wins again? Another violent insurrection on the Capitol? They may try, but I think it's going to be so resounding that I don't think Trump stands a chance in the general election at this point. He's such a negative personality, and Republicans really don't have much ground game at the moment. They're losing the fundraising battle. They have nothing to show for in Congress. Abortion is going to be on a ballot a whole bunch of Republican states, which means women are going to show up like crazy, which means Republicans are going to do very well. But yeah. Anyway, well then on that. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you on the Friday. Yeah, Friday. And peace. Open. Why are you open? We have a problem. For fudge's sake, how are you so impossible to open? I don't get it. You're just a bunny. How is it so hard? No, you don't get this. This is definitely not monkey bunny. I forgot. I had Easter candy. First things first. There we go.